Well, good afternoon. So today, let's see. I am going to do a story. Let's see who should be the star of the story, the hero of the story. Let's make it Roman. One day, Roman was outside in his backyard with his little dog, D-O-G, dog, Bane, and his big brother, Sterling. He said, "Will you play with me? 'Cause Mom and Dad cannot play." So he said, "Let's go up on the roof of the house." Sterling said, "No, because we would get hurt if we fell down." Are you crazy? No. So Roman said that he would be happy to play any game that Sterling wanted to play, because he said, "I am wanting to play a game." So what were they going to play? Well, they decided to play hide and seek. Yes, that was a great game. And they played, and Sterling hid, and Roman was not able to find him. And it went on and on and on and on. Pretty soon it was getting dark, and Roman couldn't find Sterling anywhere. So what could he do? Because it was getting too dark to see what was going on, and the two kids were both outside. What were Mom and Dad going to do? Well, all of a sudden Roman said, "I know what to do. I will look under the..." What could he look under? Maybe he can't look under anything. Maybe he would look over the car. And there was Sterling hiding on top of the car. And Roman found him and saved the day, because then they could go inside and get ready for bed, because it took so long for Roman to find Sterling. And Roman said, "I'm so happy that I found you, Sterling, because I love you. And I was scared when I thought I couldn't find you." So that is our story today, our made-up story. What is this book? Well, what is this book we have today? Wow! It is a story about the Super Pets. Superhero Splashdown. Super Pets. I don't know if you guys know these pets, because I don't. So let's see if we can find out about them. Okay. Oh my goodness, look at all these super pets. I didn't know we had all these super pets. I see dogs, cats. Oh, there's a dog that looks like a Batman dog. And wow. Oh, there's a horse. A horse jumped off like Superman. It looks like it might be an alien. Boy, I didn't know all these super pets. Superhero splashdown. So, in our story today, we have B-Dog. He's a Green Lantern. B-Dog is a Green Lantern. And then we have Sinestro, Dog Corps. Guess that's this guy, Sinestro. And this cat is Dexter. Dexter is the Red Lantern. He's the Yellow Lantern. Who's this guy? Glomulus. Glomulus is the Orange Lantern. Look at all these weird superstars. Glomulus, Sinestro, Dexter, and B-Dog. Okay, so Meet B-Dog is the first chapter in our book. Okay, this is B-Dog. Green Lantern Corps, Green Computer. B-Dog is the Green Lantern, Sector 1014. What is his power? Well, he creates anything imaginable, flight, and force fields. He can create things, he can fly, and he can make force fields. That's his thing. Okay, who's the superhero? Well, this guy's name is Hal Jordan, Green Lantern. He's part of the Sector 2814. So he works with B-Dog. And what is his power? Well, a space chipmunk. I don't think he's a chipmunk. Okay, space chipmunk, born in Helventi. Don't know how old he is. He likes to eat chips and salsa. And, like all members of the Green Lantern Corps, B-Dog was chosen to protect an area of space from evil. He is pals with his fellow Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. Oh, Hal Jordan is not a bit. He's a friend of this guy. And this guy is a chipmunk. So B-Dog, even though his name is B-Dog, he's a chipmunk. Okay. So Chapter 1, Water Park. Water Park Rivals. So here's our hero, sitting by the pool. This is the life, B-Dog exclaimed. The chipmunk-like alien leaned back on his beach towel, and he took a sip of his almond smoothie. Slurp. He was hanging out with in one of his favorite places, the Waves of Fun Water Park. Yeah, he's hanging out at the water park. Oh, and he's drinking something else, too. B-Dog was a member of the Green Lantern Corps. He spent most of his time protecting outer space. Even with the help of his power ring, the task wasn't easy, so he needed an afternoon off. Munch, munch, munch. B-Dog nibbled on straw, and he took in the sights. Oh, he's eating a straw. That's weird. Okay, all around here, people laughed and enjoyed the sun. Kids were splashing in the pool and sped down the water slides. It was perfect. Across the grassy lawn, people lined up to try to cross the lily path. But the lily pads were wobbly. Staying balanced was very hard. Sploosh! The children fell into the cool water. This guy doesn't look good. I think I'd better show them how it's done, B-Dog said, and got to his feet and went boing, 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 and bounced across the lawn. Then suddenly B-Dog skidded to a stop. No! no, he thought. It can't be him. Uh-oh, who is it? It's Dexter, a feline red lantern. Yes, Dexter sat at the edge of the pool. Red lanterns got their power from anger. Dexter was one grumpy kitten. He looks grumpy, doesn't he? Even at Wave of Fun, he was scowling. His tail twitched angrily and made his power ring swing. "Hello, Dex," B-Dog said, running over. "Are you enjoying the sunshine?" Dex's tail twitched, angry again. "You're not still mad about the time I wrapped your tail around the lifeguard chair, are you?" asked B-Dog. B-Dog gave Dex a little shove. The superhero didn't know his own strength, and Dex was thrown off balance and fell into the pool. Splash! "Whoops," said B-Dog, and he took a step back to avoid getting splashed. "Meow!" Dexter howled. B-Dog heard the red lanterns cry. Before the cat's head broke in the surface, he heard him meowing. Dexter yowled and pawed at the water. "Want a paw?" B-Dog asked. Dexter's eyes narrowed, and he let out a long hiss. B-Dog backed away slowly. When Dex stepped out of the water, he was soaked. With his fur all wet, the angry cat looked like a skinny skeleton. And I really, really think cats do not like water. "Check out the soaked kitty cat," a boy called out, pointing. "Looks like a wet rat," another cried, and several people started to laugh. "Yow!" Dexter cried. His tail flicked madly. Then a red beam of light shot out from his ring, and it sizzled in the water. Swoosh! He took a flying leap at B-Dog, and the chase was on. Chapter 2, Space Chase. B-Dog leapt into the air and landed on top of Toboggan Falls, a giant water slide. No sooner had he landed than Dex appeared behind him. B-Dog grabbed a raft from the lifeguard. "Thanks," he called, and he hopped aboard and zoomed down the slide. Look who's right behind him, though. Dex's eyes burned with anger. He took a raft out of a little girl's hands and followed B-Dog. Whoosh! Soon the rivals were neck and neck. Dex lashed out with a sharp claw and poked a hole in B-Dog's raft. And it went pop! Whoa! The raft shriveled behind B-Dog and water seeped around his furry legs. "Hey, thanks for cooling me off," he said, slowing to a stop on the slide. "I'll get you yet," Dex shouted. His raft shot past B-Dog and quickly came to the end. Splash! The evil cat landed in a pool of water for a second time. B-Dog chuckled to himself and slid slowly towards the pool and went splash. B-Dog landed at the bottom, taking a cool dunk in the water. How refreshing, he thought. Yeah, I think dogs like water, but not cats. A moment later, the water around him turned red, and it swirled badly because Dex had used his power on his red ring to create an underwater tornado. Whoosh! "How's that for refreshing?" Dex hissed from the side of the pool. The whirlpool spun faster, and B-Dog could barely breathe. He focused on his ring, and he imagined a bubble. That's a superpower, to imagine things. And look what happened. He's in a big bubble away from that whirlpool down there. Blurp. A second later, a balloon of air appeared all around him, and it carried the Green Lantern back to the pool's edge. So he floated right out of the water in his bubble. "Ha-ha," B-Dog laughed. "You can't escape me," Dex said. B-Dog skipped across the inner tubes and floated along the nearby river of water. "Excuse me, pardon me," he told the park guest as he hopped over them. "Meow!" Dex howled. The angry cat swished his tail, and a red ray shot out from his ring. Kablamo! The beam hit B-Dog and sent him flying through the air. "Hey!" B-Dog cried. He enjoyed the ride. Whomp! The Green Lantern landed safely on the lily pad. Looking around, he smiled and said, "How can I show these folks what balance looks like?" he thought. "Destroy his path!" Dex screamed. Bzzzt! The lily pad floating in front of B-Dog exploded. Pieces of the green plastic fell in every direction. Oh no. "Hey," a little boy cried. "That kitten just blew up the lily pad." Thinking fast, B-Dog leapt into the air and pointed his ring at the empty space. He imagined a new lily pad in its place. In half a second, a glowing green pad appeared. B-Dog flew through the air right over the deep pool. "Oh, it's been fun, but I'm out of here." B-Dog landed on the high dive, and then he took 2 giant jumps, and he launched himself into the sky. Boing! Hiss! B-Dog heard Dex cry of rage as he flew through a patch of cloud, but he didn't look back. B-Dog focused on his ring and imagined that he was a rocket. Up, up, up he flew. The alien chipmunk soared away from Earth and into space. All around him, stars twinkled and planets spun, and a comet zoomed by as he got closer and closer to the sun. It felt good to be out here again. Then suddenly B-Dog felt something tugging from behind him. Goink! The Green Lantern looked over his shoulder and he saw a red band of light coming off of Dex Star's tail. In another second, he would be pulled toward that evil cat. "Geez," he thought, "can't this kitty take a joke?" B-Dog was done fooling around. He didn't want to fight Dex. The chase wasn't fun anymore. Enough is enough. He stared hard at his ring. Bzzzt! A ray of green light smashed against the ray of red light. Bzzzt! Bzzzt! The beams clashed against each other again and again. Wow. They're having a fight. The chipmunk and the cat, Green Lantern and the Red Lantern, are fighting in the sky, up in space. Oh, B-Dog, and Dex grunted with the effort. B-Dog's arm began to tire and he got sweaty. The rivals were close to the sun. It was getting too hot. B-Dog wouldn't give up, though. "It was an accident," he shouted at Dex. Bzzzt! The power ring rays clashed again, sending sparks flying. It looked like outer space had fireworks. Then suddenly a chorus of barks came from behind him. Woof, woof, woof. Oh, who's coming to help him? B-Dog groaned. Their little battle had gotten the attention of Sinestro Dog Corps. Oh, a yellow pack of trouble-making dogs. Now, these are like Yellow Lantern pack, but I guess these are bad guys, too. "Nice little light show," they said. Ruff, ruff, ruff. B-Dog did not let the dogs distract him. He focused on his ring again and imagined a green beam blowing out the red beam, as if it were a candle. "I didn't mean to push you into the pool, Dex," he shouted. "Pool?" snorted one of the dogs. "What pool?" His tongue slobbered between his teeth. "You expect me to believe that?" Dex Star yowled. "Every time you're at Waves of Fun water park, you're out to get me." Waves are fun, a dog named Pronto howled. You hear that, boys? Wolf, the lead dog, growled. Waves are fun. Sounds like a cool place to me, Snort said. Woof, 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 woof. Let's go for a dip, boys, one of the dogs howled, and maybe sit up on a wave while we're there. B-Dog overheard the yelling dogs. Did you hear that, Dex? Dex's tails flickered. Sinister dog core in the water park, he said. They do a lot worse than push a kitty into a pool. He whirled around, swinging his ring in red rays away from B-Dog. Let's stop him. Bzzzt. Working together, our rings should do the trick. B-Dog replied as they returned to the parks. Friends and enemies. B-Dog looked around. The dogs were huddled together a few yards away. They argued about who would lead the way to waves of fun. I'm the leader, Wolf growled. Next time you lead us to Earth, we get lost. Oh boy, look at they're fighting the dogs. B-Dog imagined a bunch of bones, and they appeared from this ring, and he tossed them to the dogs. Arf, arf, arf. Dogs jumped at the snack, snarled and grunted. It could be heard for space miles. B-Dog thought that the snack would buy enough time to think of a real plan. 5 seconds later, the dogs were already licking their lips. Oh, they'd eaten all those bones. Come on, boys, let's go make some waves, Ralph said. Thanks for the snack, Pat called over his shoulder. I'm not a pet, I'm a Green Lantern. Meow! Dex chased after them. The evil red cat's beam shot through the blackness of space, and his anger made the beam grow longer. Soon it was in front of the pack of nasty dogs. Dex swung his tail and made red zigzag across the galaxy. Bzzzt! Ralph began to follow the lights. The pack of sinister dogs followed. Lead them to the loop. The Noop. This is a little longer than I thought, guys. The Noop was a tiny moon behind the sun and had really strong gravity. If they could get the dogs close enough, they would stick like a magnet. Dexter swung his tail in a giant arc, turned the dogs away, and went, howl! The dogs howled as they followed the red light. I think we're going to stop here. Well, all right. We'll finish. Wolf, you're getting us lost, said Pronto. The dogs were on to them. B-Dog stared down at his ring and imagined that he was in a kitchen filled with meat. He focused on the smell and put it into his ring, and he flew right into Dex's red beam and sprinkled the delicious odor. The dogs' noses twitched and said, meat, 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 mine, mine, mine. The smell of the meat got stronger and stronger. The dogs were racing towards me. My meat, no my meat, no my meat, they said. Vroom. They were stuck in an invisible net because they were following the smell of that meat. Dexter chuckled to himself and pulled the red bling onto his ring. Dex, did I just hear you laugh? Dex said, of course not. And his tail switched. Ooh, now Dex and B-Dog are fighting together against those two dogs. B-Dog smiled. The pesky, sinister dogs would not be causing trouble for a while. Dexter was not mad at him, at least not at the moment. Waves of fun, here we come. Can I show you how to cross the lily pads? I can show you how to cross the lily pads, meowed Dex. They soared past planets and stars. Soon, they were zooming through white, puffy clouds and were back at the waves of fun. When his paw hit the ground, B-Dog could tell that something was wrong. Nobody was in the water, and the lifeguards were blowing their whistle. People were running and shrieking, and there was a strange orange glow coming from the pool. B-Dog scanned the lily pads and saw the problem. Oh no, it's another bad guy. Glomulus, the distinguished orange lantern, was sitting in the center of the lily pad next to a giant heap of junk food. Where'd he come from? B-Dog said, pointing at the orange blob. Now they have another villain to fight. Glomulus let out a loud burp. It's not one core, it's another, said Dex. These greedy orange lanterns ruin everyone's fun. No kidding, B-Dog said. He knew Glomulus would be hard to get rid of. Oh boy, suddenly the sinister dogs don't seem so bad. And that's the end. Oh my goodness, it looks like these two just constantly have to fight super pets. Look at these guys. There's a whole bunch of them. So it looks like when we fight one and one goes away, here comes another one to fight. Okay, I'm going to tell you a couple jokes and then we are done. Why did the cat run from the tree? Why? It was afraid of the bark. How do you catch a space chipmunk? Don't know. Climb a tree and act like a nut. What's a cat's favorite sport? Hairball. Okay, so that is all we're reading today on Super Pets. Don't know if you like Super Pet stories, but if you do, maybe I can find some more at the library. Anyway, very long story today, but hope you are all having a great day. Love you. Bye-bye.